train your Gavin. Read those books in a blink, oh yeah. Grab yourself a hot drink cause you're watching How to Train Your Gavin.
Yep, that's me.
Hi everyone, welcome back to How to Train Your Gavin. Today I want to talk about the exciting upcoming middle grade books that are coming out in July, August and September 2020. There are a lot of books to get through. I think I originally said 24 on Twitter. There's 24 books to talk about, but actually there's 25, I think, so far. Hang on, let me check. Yep, there are 25 books to talk about today, so I might have to get straight into it, otherwise this video will end up running pretty long. Before I do talk about the books, I do want to mention a spreadsheet that I have on Google Sheets. I will put the link for it down in the description box below. A lot of people were asking me if I could have a list of all of the middle grade books that are coming out this year. So I've done that. You can access that. If you have any suggestions of what to add, please let me know. I haven't got every single middle grade book ever that's coming out this year on that list. And I will talk about the books that I'm most excited for that's on that list. There are so many books that are coming out in July, August and September. So I had to pretty much narrow it down. So I've narrowed it down to 25. And it's still going to cost me an arm and a leg, but hey ho, it's middle grade. I have also started the 2021 middle grade releases on a different tab, so definitely check that out as well. There are some that have been announced already, but I'm constantly on the lookout for more books that are coming out. I've done it so I can have kind of different editions on there as well. So if there is something that's coming out in America that I might not know about, do let me know. I'm really struggling to find American releases half of the time. So let me know. I do have some on there, but there are some in this video, so I'm really excited about those. So yeah, check out the spreadsheet. It's linked down below. And another little note there as well is that I have some books that I talked about in the last upcoming anticipated middle grade books video for Q2. So the books that were coming out in April, May and June, some of those were pushed back. So I won't talk about them in this video because I spoke quite a lot about them in the last video. So the first book that was pushed back was The Umbrella Mouse to the Rescue by Anna Farger. That is being released on July 23rd now. And there is also The Unadoptables by Hannah Took. That's also coming out on July 23rd. And The Midnight Howl by Benjamin Reed and Laura Trinder. That's now coming out on September 3rd. So I did talk about them in the last video. So if you want to know more about them, do watch that video. And last side note is that Hollowpox by Jessica Townsend has been pushed back from August to October for the UK and the American markets. It will be coming out on September 29th in Australia and New Zealand, but there's absolutely no way I'll be able to get my hands on a copy of it from there in September, so I'm just going to talk about it in the next video. Do bear in mind that is why it isn't in this list, because I usually get asked it in every video, where's Hollowpox? Well, it's going to be released in October, so I'll talk about it then, okay? So this is going to be July, August and September, so I'll get straight into it. The first book that I'm excited about that's coming out in July, on July 1st, is The Wild Way Home by Sophie Kirtley. So what I know about this one is that we follow Charlie, whose brother has a serious heart condition, and they're on the hospital, so Charlie flees the hospital, finds a boy face down in the water or something like that, and then they go through the woods to get help, and then they find that they're in the Stone Age. Yeah, that's the premise. Yeah, they've fled into the Stone Age. Charlie and the Stone Age boy set out together to find what they have lost. It just sounds so good. On the 16th of July, we have The Ship of Shadows by Maria Kuznia, and I am so excited for this one. The cover alone just makes me so excited. Not only that, but it snuck out early in the Netherlands, and I know Pris has read it. Pris gave it 5 stars. Pris absolutely loves it. I think the main character is called Alea, or it's A-L-A-J-A. I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Alea. But they come across the Ship of Shadows, which is a female-led ship. It's described as a swashbuckling feminist take on the old pirate adventure kind of story. So I'm really excited for it because I love pirates. I love pirate stories. It sounds phenomenal, so I'm really excited to get my hands on that. On July 23rd, we have the re-release of The Whistle, The Grave and the Ghost by John Bellairs and Brad Strickland. This is a re-release. This was released, I think, back in the 90s, could be the 2000s, but it is the 10th book in the Lewis Barneveld series, which I've been collecting. Piccadilly Press have been re-releasing them, so that is a 10th book, and I think the 11th book comes out on September 17th. Yeah, The House Where Nobody Lived, September 17th, for the 11th book in that series. And I only have the cover for one of them. I don't have the cover for the other one, so I'll put the other cover up here. But that one does follow Lewis Barneveld, who is a young wizard, and he goes to live with his uncle Jonathan, who is a wizard who teaches him magic, and their neighbour is Mrs. Zimmerman, who is a witch, and it's a really fun series, and it'll be great to finish out the series this year. So yeah, the 10th and 11th books are coming out on July 23rd and September 17th. So I just thought I'd lump them two together, because why not? Also on July 23rd, we have Sky Pirates, Echo, Quick Thorn and the Great Beyond, which is the first book in the Sky Pirate series by Alex English and illustrated by Mark Chambers. This one also has pirates in, so I think if you'll be a fan of the Ship of Shadows, you may love this one as well. And this one follows Echo Quick Thorn, who has grown up believing that nothing exists outside the Kingdom of Lockford. And everything changes when an eccentric professor parks his airship outside her window, armed with a map that shows all of the magical places that exist beyond the city walls. So it sounds like a really fun adventure. Again, more pirates, but Sky Pirates this time. So if you're a fan of maybe Brightstone by Vashti Hardy, or anything by Abby Elphinstone, this could be a good one as well. I don't know because I haven't read it, and I'm really excited too. So I love the cover too. It looks so cool. The next one I'm excited for comes out on August 4th, and this is an American release, and it's called The Magic in Changing Your Stars by Leah Henderson. This one follows a boy who he wants to be part of The Wiz, school production, and I think he freezes up on stage and he confides in his grandfather. His grandfather tells him about his childhood, I think, when he was wanting to be a tap dancer. So when this young boy tries on his grandfather's tap dance shoes, he's transported back to 1939 in Harlem, and there he meets the younger version of his grandfather. Maybe it's like a kind of story on how he can get back. He learns a lot more about his family, something like that. Cover is awesome. I like me some time travel, so it sounds like a really good book. On August 6th, we have Moonchild, Voyage of the Lost and Found by Isha Bushby. Yeah, this one is very inspired by the Arabian Nights, but we have a young girl who has only ever known living on the sea, on the ship with her sea witch mothers, but then I think this ship gets shipwrecked, and it's her first foray into exploring land, and it just looks beautiful and magical. And Isha Bushby also wrote A Pocket Full of Stars, so you just know it's going to be written well. Also on August 6th, we will be returning to Ro. That's right, the sequel to The Land of Ro is coming out, and it's called Return to Ro by Jenny McLachlan and illustrated by Ben Mantle. The first Land of Ro was such a fun adventure story. It was a little bit Chronicles of Narnia-esque, where two siblings, they go through this folding mattress into this land that they thought they made up as children, but it turns out to be a little bit more than imaginary. So this one, I'm really excited for. They are returning to Ro, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't really know much else about the premise of this one, but yeah, the first one was just filled with adventure and magic and wonder, and it was very imaginative, so really looking forward to reading the sequel to that. And then also on August 6th, we have Death Set Sail by Robin Stevens. This is the 9th and final book in the Murder Most Unladylike series. Again, the cover is amazing, and I'm sure this sprayed edges will be incredible as well, with all of the other books with sprayed edges as well. It's just going to be an absolute, beautiful rainbow of colour, and I'm excited. I'm here for it. So the Murder Most Unladylike series is about two girls who were at school, and they formed their own detective agency. In the first one anyway, they come across the body of a teacher, and when they go to report it, they find that the teacher has gone missing, so they have to kind of solve the mystery for themselves and prove that a murder happened in the first place. And there's just been story after story after that one, and it is the Middle Grade Monthly pick for August. No, what? It's July, isn't it? No, June. It is the Middle Grade Monthly pick for June, so we do have a live show at the end of June. That will be on Jade's channel at JD Ray Reads, so do check that out. If you love Murder Most Unladylike, do check it out, please. But yeah, Death Set Sail, the final book, will be set in Egypt, and that's all I can really tell you. On August 18th, The Stitchers by Laurie and Lawrence will be released. It is the first book in the Fright Watch series, and apparently it's going to be perfect for fans of Stranger Things and Goosebumps. Oh, yes. This follows 13-year-old Quinn, and he has two neighbours who are old, and, he calls them the oldies, bless them. But they apparently don't age. Are they vampires? Are they aliens? Who knows? So he goes to investigate, but the oldies are onto him, and it sounds good. It sounds good, intriguing. Not much I know about it. But Stephen King said the chills come guaranteed. So if it scared Stephen King, it might scare me. So moving into September, where pretty much all of the releases are happening. On September 1st, we have Squish Scratch by Lindsay Curry coming out. I don't know how I ever pronounce that. Squish Scratch, it's so hard to pronounce sometimes. My accent just doesn't allow it. But I've already read this one. I do have an art copy of this. Thank you so much, Sourcebooks, for sending me this. And if any other publishers out there want to send me anything, my email address is in the description below. So I have read this one. I will link my video to that somewhere up here. And I really love this one. I thought it was fantastic. If you are a fan of, what's it called again? Small Spaces by Catherine Arden. I think you will absolutely love this one. So this follows Claire, and it's set in Chicago. Her father kind of runs, or he's part of the mystery tours, this ghost mystery tours that happens throughout Chicago. They go to different haunted places, and one day Claire joins this tour, and she comes across a boy at the back of the bus who isn't actually really there, and it leads into this mystery of who this boy is, what happened in Chicago to him, and it's a really good, fun mystery adventure ghost story. So yeah, I would wholeheartedly recommend this one. This is one I know that I loved and I can recommend. So yeah, check this out. It comes out September 1st. This is an American release. It will be in hardback, but I think you'll be able to get it off different websites online, so I will leave links for them in the description box as well. Also on September 1st, we have The Circus of Stolen Dreams by Lorelei Severin, and it looks really good. This is another American release. This follows Andrea, and her brother Francis has disappeared. There's a magical dream world in the woods called the Reverie, and in order to enter it, you have to give up a memory. But not everything in Reverie is as it seems, of course, and the Sandman behind the circus tent seems to have plans of his own. So, again, very, very interested in that one. On September 3rd, we have Tamarind and the Star of Ishtar. She also wrote Isha and the Spirit Bird, which is also another fantastic middle grade novel, but this is her next book. So in this one, we follow Tamarind, and she never got to know her mother. She died when she was young. She ends up going to this mansion in the Himalayas or something to find out more about her family, and it just sounds really good. Apparently it is a breathtaking journey across India as well. But I love me an adventure set in different cultures. I absolutely love it. So yep, that one is coming out on September 3rd. Also on September 3rd, we have Kidnap on the California Comet by M.J. Leonard and Sam Sedgman. This is the second book in the Adventures on Train series. The first book, The Highland Falcon Thief, is a fantastic middle grade mystery novel that I read earlier this year. It was great. I absolutely loved it. I didn't expect the mystery to unfold the way it did, so I'm really excited about this one. All I know about this one is that it's set on the California Comet. And Waterstones has signed ones on the website. I'm just saying, I've just seen it there. I'm going to pre-order it right now. Right, so it's signed. Oh, right. Excellent. Okay. So yeah, it's another mystery, but this time it's set on the California Comet. It looks really good. It's signed on Waterstones. Go pre-order. Another one on September 3rd is The Midnight Guardians by Ross Montgomery. I did get a proof copy of this, and I recently finished it. I gave it 5 stars. I absolutely love this book. It was perfect. It was set during the Blitz in London during World War II, and this follows Carl and his childhood imaginary friends seem to come to life because they need him to stop the Midwinter King. Oh my god, it's just so good. Right, so it's a bit of like an adventure through war-torn London, or the areas outside of London, and he has to try and save his sister as well. There's a lot going on in this, guys. There's a lot going on. So it's very action-packed. It was so good. Absolutely loved it. I will put the final cover up here as well. I'll put this down, but I genuinely loved it. So check it out. September 3rd. Great. Great book. And then the last one on September 3rd that I have in this video, there's way more on the sheet, on the Google sheet that I have in the description. But there is also going to be Dragon Mountain by Katie and Kevin Sang. This is going to be the first book in the Dragon Realm series, and I have a proof copy of this. I am halfway through it at the minute. I'm really enjoying it. It is a little Percy Jackson-ish. So we have Billy, who is sent to the middle of China, and in the middle of nowhere there is this mountain, this Dragon Mountain, and there's a camp there because, you know, and Billy is part of this camp, and he makes friends there, which was very nice to see, and he ends up coming across 4 legendary dragons. There was this big dragon war, and the adventures start to happen. Okay, they need to stop the Dragon of Death. I'm really excited to see where this goes. Again, I am only halfway through, so I'm loving it so far. I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a blast. I'm having fun, y'all. This is what middle grade is about. All of the fun. I'm having all of the fun this year reading the middle grade. I'll put the proper cover back up here, but yes, September 3rd illustrated. I don't think, is there a signed edition? Honestly, I am a sucker for signed editions or any kind of special edition. Okay, there is not a signed edition on Waterstones, but that should not stop you from pre-ordering. Okay, next one. On September 8th, we have The Language of Ghosts by Heather Fawcett. This is another American release. This is described as the Pendowicks meets Howl's Moving Castle. So that sounds awesome. So this is about a trio of royal siblings who unlock a long-forgotten magical language in their bid to reclaim their stolen throne. Yeah, there is an enchanted moving island. There's a weapon capable of defeating the villain. There is a key to defeat the villain, but apparently it is only in the language that, this long forgotten language, that only one of the main characters knows. So the less you know, the better, because I'm not going to be able to give you too much. That's September 8th. On September 10th, we have the 10 Riddles of Earth at Quicksmith by Loris Owen. I think it's the first book in the Quicksmith series. I think it's the start of a new series anyway. And it looks so good. I have the ARC in my inbox. I'm going to see if I can try and read it next month, but it is going to be on my phone. I don't really do good with ebooks, but I'm really excited about this one, so I'll give it a try. This follows Kip, who is given a really cryptic invitation to Quicksmith's College of Strange Energy. And I believe there's some kind of like treasure hunt, and they have to use this 400-year-old riddle to try and solve it, and it sounds really interesting, so I'm really excited for that one. On September 15th, we have The Sisters of Stray Garden Place by Hayley Chewins. So we follow three sisters, I think it's three sisters, and they are kept in this house where they grew up. Their parents left them one night and left them a note to say, what does the note say? The note says, wait for us, sleep darkly. And for years and years and years, the house has looked after them. But then one day, the eldest daughter goes out into the grass. And the grass is like sort of risen. It sounds a little bit like In the Total Grass by Stephen King, maybe. So it's about sibling bonds, enchanted houses, and it's told in eerily beautiful prose, apparently. I will be the judge of that. But it does look really, really good and perfect for the October season. So coming out in September, I'll be ready for the Halloween period. So I'm excited. On September 17th, we have The Wizards of Once, Never and Forever by Cressida Cowell, the final book in the Wizards of Once series. I'm very sad about that. But I do also have a sneaky little arc for it. I literally only got this yesterday, and I've been buzzing ever since. I'm so excited. I'll finally get to find out who the narrator is. Oh my god. So I'm definitely going to be cramming this into my already massive June TBR. So yeah, I'll put this down, you know, showing off and all that. And show you the final cover on the screen here. But yeah, the Wizards of One series does follow Wish and Zor. They've been raised up as enemies because Wish is a warrior, Zor is a wizard. But there's this big thing going on, you know, bigger evil that means that they might have to start working together, and I'm going to binge the third one and fourth one straight away, I think. I'm so excited. Also on September 17th, we have Tilly and the Map of Stories by Anna James. This will be the third book in the Pages and Co series. Again, so excited for it. Pages and Co is a series that follows Tilly, and she can book wander, which means that she can go into a book, and certain characters can also come out of books so that they can like traverse and, you know, interact and things. So it's really awesome. The first book was Tilly and the Book Wanderers. The second book was Tilly and the Lost Fairy Tales. So Tilly the Map of Stories, you can only go to bigger and better places with the series, so I'm really excited for the third book. Also on September 17th, we have The Monsters of Rookhaven by Padre Kenny. This looks so incredibly gothic and wonderful, so I'm really excited for it. Padre Kenny wrote Tin and Pog. This one just looks like it's going to be the best one yet. Okay, so we follow Mirabelle, who is a monster. There is a glamour that protects her from the outside world, her and her family, but I think one day that glamour gets torn, and I think people can see her for what she is, but I think she makes friends on the outside or something like that, so it sounds sweet, but it also sounds very gothic, and I hope it comes across that way because I love me some gothic, and I really want more gothic in middle grade. The last one on September 17th might be a bit more YA than middle grade, but I'll mention it anyway, and that is Love Frankie by Jacqueline Wilson. I believe Frankie falls in love with a girl called Sally, and so I think there's like LGBTQ plus rep in this, but it sounds like it's going to be quite hard hitting because Frankie's mum is seriously ill, and yeah, maybe this is more YA then middle grade. I don't know. I do like me some Jacqueline Wilson. On September 22nd, we have Mia and the Rising Dark by Rena Barron. This one follows 12-year-old Mia, and she goes looking for her missing father, and I believe she gets caught up in a three-way battle between three different worlds: our world, the Orishas, and the mysterious and sinister Dark World. Again, it sounds great. It says contemporary fantasy, which I always wonder, how can you have contemporary and fantasy together? But I think it's just because it's set in the present day, maybe. Oh, but yeah, there's an army led by the Lord of Shadows, and the man of Maya's nightmare awaits. Oof, it just sounds so good. This is an American release, and I'll have to import it, but I don't care. And then finally, on September 24th, we have The Hungry Ghost by H.S. Nora. So we follow Freya, who arrives in Singapore during the month, is it the month? Yeah, the month of the Hungry Ghost, and that's said to be a time where ghosts roam the streets, and families must make offerings to their ancestors to appease them. One day she comes across this figure in a white dress, which doesn't sound creepy at all, and she ends up discovering some family secrets, or there's like this family mystery, and it needs to be solved before the month of the Hungry Ghost is up. Otherwise, I think both families, the family of the main character and the family of the girl in the white dress, they will be doomed. So I hope she does it. I hope Freya manages to do it, but I'm really excited to read that one as well. So yeah, those were the 25 upcoming middle grade books I'm so excited for between July, August and September. After that as well, there's just so many coming out at the end of the year as well. I'm so excited for, but I will talk about that in the next video like this, which will be at the end of September. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I have all of the links to pre-order in the description box below, so if you fancy any of them, then do pre-order them or add them to your Goodreads. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like. If you did, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a little comment, let me know which ones you're really excited for, if I've missed any that you're excited for, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!